All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to One-and-Done-athon. I'm Amerlin, swapping in for Hobbs for just this one run to help commentate my friend Derek's run. And Derek is here to show us Bionicle on the GBA. Derek, take it away.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Derek, and like Amerlin just said, this is Lego Bionicle for the GBA. Where do I start with this run? This is going to be a very, very wild run, and I appreciate that J Hobbs and Amerlin have both been sort of hyping it up for this whole event. I really appreciate that. There is a lot going on in this run in a very short amount of time, so don't blink, and I hope you enjoy it. I do want to give a quick shout out before we begin, and that shout out is to Memory Tass, who not only made the task for this game, but she also basically discovered everything we know about how this game works. And my understanding is that sort of stemmed from, I wonder why the game does that. And then it just sort of went from there. And then suddenly you're going to see where that has led here in a moment. So I think, oh yeah, one other thing I do want to say, this is the first time that the Bionicle franchise in general has been represented at any GDQ event. So very, very excited to be showing this to you today. So I guess we are pretty much good to start. Are we ready to start the timer?
Yeah, let it rip.
Awesome. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so to start off here, there's going to be like a quick little tutorial area on the beach. And so this is sort of, it's going to show off some of the movement and mechanics and stuff. I'm going to be like sort of long jumping around as much as possible because that's the quickest way to get around. There also is a short hop in the game. It looks like that. It's normally pretty slow, but as you'll see later on, it does some very interesting things to the game, especially when you do it around the edges of the screen, which we'll see that later. A quick little pause buffer here. And then also coming up here is going to be the first new addition to the run as of like a couple weeks ago. We're just gonna and that isn't entirely new to the run as of like a couple weeks ago. That involved getting the grapple launcher early due to some weird menu shenanigans, and then also the fact that objects in this area, you're not supposed to have the grapple yet, so they never really coded them to be like you can't like drag them with the grapple. So you can do weird things like moving that door where normally you have to like push some rocks onto some switches to solve a puzzle to open the door. Next up, I'm going to be talking about throw swap glitch. So as you saw there in the menu, I can assign a weapon to either the L button or the R button, and I can have two different weapons assigned at the same time because of that. So for example, right now, my L button is like the little pea shooter ammo, the little normal pebbles that you get a lot of them to start off with, but they don't do a lot of damage. And then on my R button, I have the explosive fruit, which is actually the most powerful weapon in the game, and I have no ammo for it. However, one interesting thing about how this game works is that whenever you throw a projectile, it first, decides what you're throwing based on what you're pressing, and then subtracts 1 from the ammo for it. And then it checks again what you're pressing in order to know what projectile to spawn. So if you press L and then R, decently quickly, there's like a few frame window for it, you can basically use your L button's ammo to fire your R button's weapon. And so this basically
so
means,
that's how you're throwing them. Okay.
Yep, it's literally just LR, and then that's, you can throw the explosive fruit. Now, this has some consequences, meaning I can basically one-shot any enemy in the game that's not strictly immune to it, including this boss, because that normally takes like 5 hits from the pebbles with a bunch of invincibility frames in the middle, but you can actually just one-shot it using the explosive fruit because they didn't really code it to be immune to that because you're not even supposed to have the explosive fruit yet. But we do, of course. So I just picked up the grapple launcher, and unfortunately, the first thing we're going to do with it is not use it. You're supposed to use it in this room here. And it's supposed to be sort of the first time where you use it. You can either grab items and sort of pull them to you, which is very, very rare, or you can like grapple yourself to other places. That's where you're supposed to use it, but we just sort of hop around it instead because it's a little bit faster. But rest assured, we will be showing off the grapple later on and some of the crazy things that you can do with it. Coming up in this next room here, this is supposed to be the first place where you actually pick up the explosive fruit, and you get like 5 shots here. So it's supposed to be like really, really rare ammo because it is the most powerful weapon in the game. So really picking up ammo doesn't really mean much for us because, you know, we have like 150 and that's way more than enough for the rest of the game. By the way, mini games, they're required. You can actually just quit out of them and that counts as winning. All right. Yeah. So starting off here is going to be the first place where we use the grapple. So this is going to look a little bit weird, and hopefully I can get this on the first try. It's a little bit finicky. But basically, there we go, awesome.
What?
Basically, you can equip 2 weapons, like I said, and you can also equip the same weapon to both the L button and the R button. If you do that with the grapple launcher, and then you activate the grapple while you are being pulled by the grapple, you can do some very weird things. Also, by the way, here, this is what I was talking about with hopping along the edges of the screen. Lets you sort of do that, and we just skipped 2 levels by doing that. And coming up here, let me catch my breath. Coming up here is going to be a grapple interrupt. If you get pulled by the grapple into an item that spawns a text box, it removes the ability to bonk on walls. And I hope that's the right position, it should be, but it removes the ability to bonk on walls. So instead, you just start building up speed against it. So if I did this right, if I did the positioning right, I should basically just clip through this wall and then this wall. Perfect. And it pretty much puts me right at the end of the room, which is a very convenient place to be as a speedrunner.
Is it just like super sliding, but like just extreme speed going backwards? That's wild.
Pretty much. It is effectively this game's backwards long jump.
Yeah.
All right, so here is unfortunately going to be basically one of the very few rooms in the game that we do pretty much entirely as intended. Oh, that's a little bit unfortunate. I'm trying to basically take as little splash damage from the explosive fruit as possible. So my health is at the bottom left, just the green bar. And you don't get, oh my god, you don't get a lot of health pickups in this game. You can get like random ones from enemies, and then like at 2 points throughout the game, you get what is basically a heart container in this game. There, I just picked up a health pickup. But we don't get that much, health restoration. So I'm trying very carefully to not take damage wherever I can. Something that I do actually that you'll see is intentionally actually taking damage from an enemy so that I can hit it with a point blank explosive fruit shot like that and not take splash damage. So basically I take a little bit of damage. Hopefully this guy drops something. Okay, well that's better than nothing, I guess. So basically, you take a little bit of damage to not take a lot of damage from the explosive fruit splash damage.
I was going to ask, that super slide glitch, does that go away per room, I'm guessing?
I'm not sure quite.
Into a text box? The grapple into a text box?
So basically, spawning the text box, it's basically until you complete the grapple. So until you sort of let go of the grapple or whatever.
Got it.
So everything sort of returns to normal after you do that. Also, don't worry about that bug. He's just having a great time. Ooh, that one was a little bit annoying. There we go. Cool. Actually, the health doesn't really matter that much right now, just because we're about to pick up the last. Ooh, that's a little bit unfortunate. This might get a little finicky. Nope, we're good. There's one I missed. There we go. We're gonna pick up basically a heart container here in a moment. So don't worry about the health. And there it is. Awesome. So, like we were just talking about with that sort of grapple interrupt here, we're going to do another one here, and this one's a little bit more complex, but it works in basically the same way. If you throw a projectile at an item, it picks up the item. And so that disc down there at the bottom of the screen, we're basically going to pick it up while we are being pulled to the left by the grapple, like so. And so this basically sets up another, grapple interrupt here. So we're just going to clip through this wall. Awesome. And that basically, because this room is like a giant loop, we're at the end of the room again. Also, there's a boss here. It's a giant scorpion. And there's a bunch of other enemies around here, so I'm going to try and take as little damage as possible, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, wow, okay. I somehow completely whiffed that, but we're going to make it work. So can I get all these? Ooh, I missed the boss. Okay, well, we're fine. We just gotta hit it one more time here. It is possible to one-shot it, but not really consistently in RTA. The task does it, obviously, but I've actually done it RTA before, but never on purpose. It's always by accident. Here's another minigame, and it's gone now.
Easy.
Yeah, we've now entered the rapid fire portion of the run, where basically we're just going to do skip after skip after skip to skip like half the game. So what we're going to do here is we're going to, this room is really finicky, but we're going to basically get into another minigame. Don't worry about him, he just fell through the floor. We're going to quit out of that minigame to skip it. And we're going to go through here. Thank you, elevator. And we're gonna sort of go around to the side here, and we're gonna do this whole bit. This skips 2 more levels. Awesome.
Just going past the poor guys that are standing there trying to talk to you.
Yeah, he doesn't move out of the way until we do the levels, and this is a speed run. What's he thinking? So we're gonna do this now.
So I think I remember seeing on Twitter it's because there's like ground at the edge of every room, right? And that's how you're able to hop along it?
Yeah, so basically the edges of the screen are treated as ground that you can stand on, but it's sort of like, ooh, I want that. It sort of also treats it as a wall that you can bonk on if you normally jump into it, but if you short hop, you can't bonk. That's just
okay.
like, for whatever reason, that's how the short hop works. Also, this used to be the most finicky thing in the game here, but I managed to find a consistent setup for it. There we go.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, that skips 2 more levels. Oh, okay, that ostrich is in a weird position. Oh yeah, by the way, we're in like the last major area of the game now. This has a lot of enemies like that bull and that ostrich that are really annoying. They knock you over, they knock you back, they do a lot of damage to you. And they can also knock you into the lava. There's a lot of lava here, right? And that makes it especially convenient that we are about to pick up the lava board. So the lava board is, you know, it lets you surf on lava. And we're gonna use it throughout this room here. This is pretty much the last room in the game that we do as intended here. The level geometry and physics of this room and the lava board, respectively, are really weird. It does not go in the direction that you press. So here, I'm gonna like hold straight right, it's gonna send me upright. So a lot of this room is just sort of memorizing exactly what you need to press and where to go in the right direction. And this just has to do with like the weird physics and the weird level geometry and everything. Ooh, that was almost really close. This might get a little awkward. Nope, we're good. Also, we are doing really good on health right now, which is really good because at the end here, we're going to do something, something that requires me to take like 3 full dots of damage. And we currently have like 7 of them, which means we're pretty much good. Ooh, okay. So this is sort of the last room here, and this is the second thing that has been added to the run recently, as in the last 2 weeks-ish. And I'm not even gonna try to explain this, partially because it would take too long, and partially because I have no idea how this works. But basically, we can now teleport objects.
What?
So basically, whenever, this is probably a horrible explanation, but whenever you pull a small rock into you, it sets coordinates for something, I don't know what, and then if you do this, it teleports a big boulder to that location. This may not work. Let me reset that.
And you're just setting them up to be teleported like directly onto the switches or whatever?
Yes. You do have to sort of like push one of the boulders for like a frame to make it work, but then let me grab this other rock. And let me do that, and boom, cool. So I'm going to set up and hopefully get a frame perfect trick here. Basically, this is going to hopefully skip the final mini game in the game. Again, it's frame perfect, so it may take a few tries. I'm going to attempt it up to 5 times, and if I don't get it on the 5th time, I'm just going to try and do it normally. It's very annoying, so I hope I get the skip. Also, I messed that up. There we go. That might be it. Oh, we got it. Okay, so if you're not good with flickering or flashing sprites, you're gonna wanna look away from the game for like the next 30-ish seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so let me explain this. So, you're not supposed to be able to pause in this minigame. However, if you press pause or start on the last possible frame before going in, it buffers the input into here. By the way, get ready on time. It buffers the pause input in here, and if you can pause, then you can quit the game. If you can quit the game, everything sort of falls apart because you're sort of half in the mini game and half in the menus, and this happens So once it fades out here, that's time. All right.
Little Bionicle guy was all broken.
Yeah, that tends to happen with Legos. So here, I'm going to sort of try and speed through this sort of ending dialogue. Oh, also the ending cutscene is sort of broken too. Like my guy is supposed to be like moving around there, and he's just sort of, not. So I'm going to speed through this dialogue here because I do want to show this off. This will probably be nostalgic for a very, very small amount of people watching the stream. But if anyone here has played the Mata Nui online game, which was a Flash game from 2001 on the Bionicle.com website. It was sort of the first, Bionicle interactive media that there was, maybe besides this game in particular. You may remember that it sort of starts with a first-person view. You're playing as this guy. It's a first-person view on the beach, looking at Tahu's canister on the beach with footsteps leading off to the right, sort of off into the distance, right? And so it turns out that this game directly leads into Mata Nui online game, which I think is like the coolest thing ever. So in any case, that is Lego Bionicle for the GBA. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, this run basically would not exist and there would be no one running it if it weren't for Memory Tass, who basically found everything that we know about this game. So thank you, Memory. And very, very fun and crazy run. And I was very happy to show this off for all of you. So
yeah, I mean, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's everything I was expecting and more from that run.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, again, thank you, Derek, for the run. And as we say here at One-and-Done-athon, goodbye forever. And we'll see you never, unless you commentate another run on this, in which case we'll see you again.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
But I was just here for a short second. Hobbs is here, off camera. There he is. I'm going to be heading back out because I was just helping commentate that run. But after this, stay tuned. We have Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance by Valeria Chan. Super hype run. I'm really excited for it. Stay tuned.